Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's Boston here with Riding with Agents. Today I'm here with Chris. We're going to be showing you around the Celina area. If you want to go ahead and introduce yourself and do all that.
Awesome. So my name is Chris Mendez with the Mendez Group here in the North Texas area. And like Boston said, we're here in Celina, or some people call it Celina. But Celina is, one of the fastest growing cities also here in the North Texas area. There's plenty of land around here to build, and it's a city in Collin and Denton County, and it's part of, obviously, of the Dallas-Fort Worth metroplex. For people that are not familiar with that term, is we have just two main cities or big cities, Dallas and Fort Worth, and then there's just tons of cities around those two cities, so that they call it a metroplex. So Celina is to the north of Dallas, and I would say to get here it's going to take you 45 minutes from downtown, give or take, traffic obviously. But it's a growing city, still small, but it's projected to have the last figure, I think, like 300,000 people. That's the projection that they're having in the coming decades. So it's going to be a huge city, and it's going to be a great place to live, also raise a family.
Yeah, I'm definitely seeing that with this area. You can kind of just tell what's about to happen. Is they're building a ton of homes very quickly. The infrastructure, like the area you're in, seems to be getting groomed very nicely, and you can just tell that this is going to be the spot to be. This is like going to be what Frisco was, 20 years ago.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean, you just know that if you're trying to get into a area that's going to have a ton of home value, and it's just going to keep increasing from here, this is one of your spots to get into.
Right. Yeah. So you still can get in here and buy a house for a good price, and still experience the growth, and capitalize on that equity that you will get, buying a house around here. And there's still, obviously there's still land that you can buy around here to build your own house, and obviously that's a subject that is going to take another video to talk about, building your own house here in North Texas. But the possibility is there in this area in Celina. You still can get a good lot, with tons of equity, in the future. So, and one of the and to go back a little bit talk about Celina, the population, I forgot to mention this, is about 23,000 people still. So it's very, very small. But as we speak, people are just keep moving here, and builders are just building more houses, and also master communities, just like Prosper. They are building master communities around here where, what they try to do is try to give or provide, tons of amenities for the residents, and so that way they don't have to travel so far out into downtown Frisco or even Dallas or other places, but they can do everything pretty much in their communities.
Yeah, that's one thing I've seen. I think it was called like Mustang Lakes or something.
Yes, Mustang Lakes.
And it's a community that has literally everything within like a 2-minute walk from it.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because like I live in Frisco, and to go to your Kroger, to go really anywhere, you have to get in your car and drive.
Yes.
Here, it seems like they're building these little communities where, if you need something from a store, if you just want to go to a park or whatever it is, you can walk.
You can walk. Yep. Absolutely. Yeah. So here we're coming to downtown Celina. It still has a small town feel, and you still have houses from the 50s, 40s are rebuilt, probably older than that. Celina was established in 1876 And you know, that's pretty much, we weren't even born
Yeah, right.
back then. But it's an older, you know, small community that started back then, and the growth here has been about 50% from 2015 to 2019. And like I said, their maximum project built out is about 380,000 people here in the area. So around here, I mean, obviously the homes that you're seeing are like the original homes or homes that were built, you know, in the 50s, and they have a, you know, big lots, lot of land that they can use in there, that they belong to. But obviously, like we mentioned, there's master communities being built. Life Farms is one of them. Mustang Lakes, like you mentioned. There's different areas that that different builders are starting to, you know, to build. So this is also a great area here in the North Texas communities to come and live. And one of the main highways to come here is the North Dallas Tollway. So that would be kind of like a pro and a con at the same time, because with tollways, obviously you have to pay for tollways. Right now, I don't think they have built the toll all the way to here, but they are starting to make their way, you know, this way. Yeah, this is a good, I mean, a brand new house here in this area.
And that's where I'm trying to get over here. So you can definitely see that you have the downtown Celina here, where it's, you know, these older houses and kind of the original homes that were built here. And then I want to get to the parts that most people, if they're moving over here, this is where they're going to want to go, which is those newer master communities.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you see the difference between what they've built versus what they're building, I mean, you'll see what's gonna come, you know. And they're obviously building a lot right now, so there's obviously a lot of demand, I'm guessing. But yeah, there's one thing that I've noticed, and this is where the CFO of my company lives. I mean, the lots are usually, his lot is an acre big, so you get a lot of acre lots around here.
Yes.
You just get a little bit more room, you know, for yourself versus, you know, living in like the suburbs like Frisco or.
Yeah, and so if you visit Frisco or even Plano, you know, in this north side of Texas, just imagine, you know, the potential that Celina has. You know, this probably will be the next Frisco, you know, in a couple decades, you know, maybe a decade. I don't know. They move so fast here, building, you know, communities and houses, that 10 years might be just what they need to do all that. But this is what Frisco was about, you know, 20 years ago, 25 years ago, and now Frisco is like one of the major cities in the Metroplex. So tons of potential, you know, to do here. There's a bunch of parks, trails that you can enjoy. So I would say if you still like that suburb, you know, feel, family-oriented communities, but it's still like the outdoors. So there's, you know, a lot of stuff here that you can do. And a fun fact about Celina is the first gigabit city in the state of Texas, and it was recognized back in May 2022. And what a gigabit city is you know, is where all the what they're trying to accomplish is to have every house in Celina to have fiber internet, pretty much.
They're probably building the homes with fiber and all that.
Exactly.
To it.
So the infrastructure is being placed for probably a modern city, you know, for the next decades coming. So.
Yeah, it's so funny. We used to always talk about it too. Like, this is what Prosper used to be, this kind of
Yeah.
farmland, and now that's turning into like a bustling city, and now they're just keep moving forward. So this is, I mean, we're starting to see some of these, like the little suburb or the community we started out this video in was like a brand new little area, and then we went into downtown, and now we're probably going to be going into like back into like where all the newer areas are, and it's just you see it change so much, and to come while it's changing is probably a pretty good time to come, and that's why it's so important to act on it.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. This is the time, if to grow with the city and capitalize on all the stuff that if you buy land, if you buy a house, if you're in the commercial business, also if you're trying to open a business, hey, there's tons of opportunities here in North Texas for sure, in Celina. Now schools here in Celina, obviously for all the families that are watching us, for the moms and the dads, it is one of the highly rated school districts in North Texas, because there's Celina ISD and then Prosper ISD. So there's part of Celina that belong to Prosper ISD also, and they just are great school districts for the kids. And the Celina Bobcats, it's one of the biggest schools here in Celina. And also here in Celina, if you have young kids, or not young kids, but young adults, that's what I was trying to say. There is the college campus in Celina. It's about 75 acres of this college, where your young adults, people that are wanting to start, the college life, then they can definitely, take advantage of that here in Celina.
Yeah, it's crazy to see how much this whole area has changed, and I haven't seen a ton of statistics on it or anything, but I know we talked a little bit about it, but the growth of the city, and how much it's growing, I think it's a cool thing to see if you've lived here, because you literally just see the land change before your eyes.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so for these newer master plan communities, what is like the going like average home cost and rate for those that are wanting to move into some of these newer areas?
Yeah, I mean you can find house for the mid 300s. Sometimes it becomes a little challenging because of the costs that the builders have to have when they're building these master communities. However, there's still opportunities to still get at a lower price range for a good new built house. But as we speak, obviously home prices are going up, which it's a good thing for everyone, right? And so obviously the longer you take to get here, you're probably the mid 350s are not going to be available. You'll probably gonna have to go more north and more north at that point. But you can find houses from that price range, 350s, all the way to $1 million. It just depends obviously on the type of house and all that. There's different there's a house for everyone pretty much in this area still, and you can find houses for $2 million, $3 million, $4 million. Great beautiful mansions in the area here. And one of the cool things about Celina is the economy. Like we said, is still a community that's growing, and one of the industries here is manufacturing, healthcare, technology companies. That just means that there's plenty of jobs opportunities in the area, and the unemployment here is really low. You know, I mean, population is that big, so pretty much everybody is employed here or working, doing something, and it has a median. The median household is, last time I checked, it was in the 150, I think 50,000. So it's, the crime is pretty low around here. You might just find just petty theft stuff going on, but there's nothing big, like as far as crime is concerned.
For sure. Yeah, that's something that we see a lot of in these areas is the police presence is so high that, and the unemployment rate is so low that you really don't get much crime at all. And I think that's one thing that a lot of people that have a family or are moving to these areas are looking for, stuff that's safe for their kids to be able to go outside and play. So I think that's a very good thing to talk about.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there's a really strong sense of community, and people, the people that live in the neighborhoods, they have a strong sense of belonging. Also, that it just makes the places attractive for families, to raise a family here. That plus the amenities that these communities have. So if you see these houses around here, you'll kind of have a feel of what we saw in Prosper as well, a little bit. So this is, and obviously they're probably the same builders,
yeah,
building around here, so they're gonna build kind of the same house for less price. But you're gonna have the real beautiful, modern, traditional, or maybe a little more cottage looking houses. Sometimes they have communities where you have like brick, or you have the name escapes right now for this type of painting. Well, this is brick right here, the white, the Tudor looking, English looking houses as well. So they're all different, and from the brick, from the elevation. So that's what the builders try to do here. They're trying to mix it up a little bit, keeping the uniformity, so the values of the houses just keep going up and up. So you don't have a bunch of weird stuff, like the owners doing outside of the houses, because that will decrease the property values around here. And something big here in Texas for some people that are maybe coming from another part of the country is the homeowners associations, which there's the banner here. You can turn here also, Light Farms. So here is Light Farms community master plan, which you have also tons of amenities here. This is a really, really cool area here. I've been here to this restaurant and bar. Great ambience here. So what I was mentioning earlier, the master communities, they want to keep people in the communities doing life, and that bar slash restaurant, or restaurant slash bar, however you want to put it, it's a great spot for people in the community to come, and it's open to the public. Like everybody can come from from other places.
Yeah,
as well.
That's crazy. I've never really seen. I'm starting to see it now, of course, as I do more research about neighborhoods and stuff. Is like having these restaurants within the neighborhood. You'd never see this before. Normally you have to drive somewhere, but it's called the Nook. It's actually really cool.
Yeah.
You see like volleyball courts, tennis courts. You see people driving up here in golf carts.
Golf carts nation here.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's such a cool thing to have, because you don't normally have that in a lot of other areas. So for you to see, we're just on a random day, driving through, but if you see that all the time, then you obviously know that sense of community is so tight knit.
Yeah, absolutely. So the like we said, there's still plenty of space in this area where you can build a life, fresh start if you need a fresh start, something There's the elementary here for the community here, Light Farms Elementary School. Beautiful high elementary, brand new. I mean, it's probably a couple years old. And like we said, the Celina ISD is a high-rated ISD or independent school district. So great place to raise a family and kids here. There's a railroad here, passes. I think this one is the one that comes from Frisco, or passes through Frisco also. So, and there's man, I want to remember the name. I don't know if you ever written the train that takes you. I see it's Grapevine all the way to Fort Worth. But anyway, now here there's another side of it. More properties here. And going back to the HOA real quick, now that I remember, is some people hate HOAs, some people love HOAs, and some people are like, I don't know, how I feel. But if you see the communities here, the neighborhoods, this is the result of having HOAs in place, right? Yes, sometimes HOAs can be a little bit, tricky, but this is just to help out the community keep, beautiful, aesthetically pleasing, and obviously the property values increasing in this area, So, and the HOA is just a homeowners association. That's what it is, right? So they do have a board, but anything that they want to put in place, any restrictions or anything that they need to, have, it needs to go to a vote. So the members have to vote, and it's usually like 10% has to be present and have to vote to be able to pass that resolution or that restriction, whatever. So it's not like there's, the board and they're going to make all the rules. No, like it is presented to the community, to the members, and then they decide if they want to, run with it at that point. So, but this is the result. Like you have beautiful communities, well kept. You don't have crazy stuff outside the houses. Like if or somebody painting the brick purple or red. It's just gonna throw everything off. And it's a slippery slope. One neighbor does it, then everybody's start doing crazy stuff in the area.
Sweet. But yeah, I'm glad we actually got to see. This is like that mastermind community versus the downtown Celina, and you just get to see like what Celina is going to become. Is there anything else that you kind of want to talk about before we go ahead and call it here?
No, I mean, I think it's a city that is growing, like all this North Texas cities. So people that are in another state or another part of the even another part of the world, these are well-planned cities that Texas have. The infrastructure, they're already planning 20-30 years in the future, right?
Sure.
So they're putting everything in place little by little to be able to have a modern city, a beautiful city in North Texas. So all you're gonna get from coming here is lots of, or capitalizing on those property values, having a fresh start, having tons of amenities, and be able to experience a really nice, beautiful neighborhood where you live. I guess the sky's the limit as far as on the side of the commercial side of things. Like we said, there's plenty of opportunity for businesses to come here. All these communities, even though they have a lot of stuff in them, they still need their supermarkets, their stores here and there, clothing stores, I mean, you name it, right? They still need more businesses coming into the area to serve the population here.
Awesome, man. Well, once again, you guys, thank you guys for watching. If you guys are interested in either finding a home out here or even just talking with a realtor, make sure to hit that connect with a realtor button to get connected with Chris. We appreciate you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.